And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Takes by Fans and be a part of the conversation. And come watch live daily, noon Eastern at twitch.tv/takesbyfans or at our official website, takesbyfans.com. Go to the watch tab, and whenever we are live on the website. We are live right now. We are live on the website, folks. It is that easy. So, however you decide to watch, just make sure you're watching for all your daily sports content. Alrighty, big day today. I mean, you vote today, vote, don't vote, I don't care, do what you do, but people are voting today. We have the trade deadline that ends at 4 o'clock, so we're 4 hours out. We're live right now, 12:01 p.m. and it ends at 4 o'clock, so we will kind of be keeping a little bit of a tab on that throughout the show. If anything breaks live, hopefully it does. We got an hour here most likely, so we will keep an eye on the trade deadline, see if anything happens, who's going to make a splash, who's going to go big, who's going to go home. We'll know by the end of today, and we'll have all the news for you tomorrow on our show as well. But if anything breaks, we'll cover it, and we've got basically a solid hour of news that could potentially break. It's noon right now. News at noon. Y'all know the saying, news at noon. Come on. All right, so today we break down Monday Night Football from last night. We update our cash and trash list. We got a lot of people to go through on this cash list. There are so many people on there. We don't have a lot of new additions, but we do have some respectable additions that we do have to get on there. Same thing with the trash list. We'll also update that. And then I already know why you come on these Tuesday shows anyway, why you come to watch them, is our power rankings. We have a new top 10. We have a lot of ups and downs. We have a big down. We have a new team in the top 10, so well done to them. And then we just have a lot of shuffling around. So we'll unveil the top 10 teams, in my opinion, in the NFL season thus far, and I think I'm pretty spot on. So I will catch some slack for it. But hey, I don't care. I do not care. So here we go. One story I do want to get into first, real quickly. This is going to pertain to the Thursday Night Football game where the Green Bay Packers are on Thursday Night Football this week. So there was a positive case from Sunday. We already went through this, but their running back, A.J. Dillon, the running back for Green Bay, A.J. Dillon, he was the one that did get positive, even though he played last game. He was positive. And then running back Jamal Williams, he is not playing because he was a high-risk close contact to A.J. Dillon. And then linebacker Kamal Martin, also a high-risk close contact, will not play on Thursday Night Football for the Green Bay Packers. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how many running backs do the Green Bay Packers have left? I mean, 2 are out, definitely. Aaron Jones, their kind of premier running back, he's been injured these last 2 games, and it's not looking good that he's going to be playing on Thursday, so that's not good. They're going to be kind of cautious with him, it seems like, so they will probably not be starting Aaron Jones on Thursday's night game. And we saw how that kind of affected Aaron Rodgers last week, or this last Sunday against the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers was good, 3 touchdowns, good completion percentage, the yards were there, an absolutely spectacular first half of football, 2 for 2 on drives that both ended in touchdowns. But I mean, they really had no efficient running game, and that's possibly because of Aaron Jones not being there. So once again, this Thursday, the Packers are going to be only having 2 running backs that are available, Tyler Ervin and practice squatter Dexter Williams. Would you trust them? Not really. So expect Aaron Rodgers to really just be throwing the ball about 40 times in their Thursday night game this week. So yeah, that's what we've got. Let me check out their opponent. I actually forgot already who they got on Thursday night. The 49ers. So it really should be a simple game for them. Jimmy Garoppolo's out, George Kittle's out, the entire 49ers regular roster is out. So Packers shouldn't have too much of trouble here. Aaron Rodgers should be able to get it done with the arm, but we saw, what happened last week. He should have gotten it done at home against the Vikings. Now he has to go on the road. Thursday Night Football, shorter week. Definitely could hurt him. We'll see what happens, but Packers are running short on running backs this Thursday, so keep that in mind. Alrighty. So let's move on to Monday Night Football from last night. Our official pick was Bucs minus 11.5, and we called that from Friday when we made our official picks. So we were waiting for the outcome of this game, and it burned us. So unfortunately, I think we are we 3? I think we're 3-3 on the week, unfortunately. Let me take a quick look. We had the Packers minus 6.5. That did not hit. Steelers plus 4. They won outright. Bucs minus 12. Did not hit that. Dolphins plus 3. We hit that. Saints minus 4.5. We did not. And Colts minus 3. We did hit that. So unfortunately, 3-3 on the week. Possibly could have went 4-2 if Tom Brady and the Bucs kind of stepped it up a little bit, and they didn't. What has been the one thing I've been saying about the Giants all year? Daniel Jones is a decent quarterback. I'm talking about average, maybe slightly, very, very slightly above. No, I'm not even going to say that. He's average quarterback. And he keeps his team in games. I mean, the Giants have really not been blown out all season. They've kept games very close. Our one knock on Daniel Jones is that he's not clutch. What happened in this game? Daniel Jones kept them in the game. What happened at the end? Daniel Jones was not clutch. Literally, this Giants team is so consistent. They're so consistently just losing. They're just so consistently just losing. But, I mean, we have to give credit. Daniel Jones, he played a pretty decent game here. We'll start with him. 25 of 41 for 256 yards, 2 touchdowns. The 2 picks definitely hurting the team. Let's look at how the Bucs cashed in on these turnovers. We see the first interception coming on the first drive of the third quarter. Not great. Just coming out of halftime, and you squander that, not good. And the Bucs can get a field goal out of it. So they cash in 3 there, and then the second interception comes in the fourth quarter, and they're able to cash in for a touchdown. So Daniel Jones, really, he was in the thick of it. I mean, besides that, before those interceptions came, the Giants were up 14-6. Amazing. But then the interceptions happen. Now they make it 14-9. The interception happens again. Now they officially take the lead, 22-17. I mean, they had the lead before that interception. They were up. The Giants were up 17-15 before that second Daniel Jones interception. He was really keeping the Giants in this game, truly. Oh, man. I'm trying to think of the offensive coordinator for the Giants. What's his name? Ex-head coach for the Cowboys. Oh, man. Man, that's making me mad because I had a great point. I mean, this Giants offensive coordinator, I can't remember his name, so I'm just calling him Giants or offensive coordinator. He needs to be upgraded to the head coach, folks. We see what he's doing with Daniel Jones, and yes, the Giants are 1-7, but Daniel Jones has really been in every single game, and that's because the offensive coordinator is scheming for Daniel Jones, and it's working. You lose by 2 against the Bucs, against Tom Brady? Of course, this Giants team is very good. I think you have to promote the offensive coordinator to the head coach because we see what's happening in Dallas. He was the glue that held that entire team together. As soon as he left, they bring in Mike McCarthy. The team literally is falling apart and not competitive in any game. So he really has to start saying that the Giants offensive coordinator is the main reason for success for Dallas, and now really possibly for the Giants if he can maybe affect a little bit more than just, the offensive play calls, by upgrading him to the head coach. He can have, a whole grasp on the locker room, and I think the Giants really could benefit from that. Remember, the Giants head coach currently was the special teams coach for the Patriots the past couple of seasons. That's who they hired. He's never had any head coach experience. It's looking like it's not going very well for him. He's 1-7, not very good. He doesn't have, he's not the one calling plays for the offense. I mean, this is all the offensive coordinator. It's really killing me. It's truly killing me. I got to look it up. I'm sorry, folks. Here we go. It's so easy, too, and I just can't think of it. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Put this in, and then we get Pro Football Focus. Jason Garrett. Come on, how did I forget that? Jason Garrett. I mean, he really needs to be upgraded head coach, folks. I mean, this man's doing an absolutely fantastic job coaching Daniel Jones. I mean, to be to really have the lead here late in the fourth quarter. I mean, going into the fourth quarter, it's 17-15 Giants. And Daniel Jones, he's only thrown one interception, but he's looking good. He's had 2 touchdowns on the day. So I really want to see that kind of change happen with the Giants. I think it's beneficial. I think they can kind of mutually come together. Jason Garrett and the head coach currently for the Giants, I think they can get together. He's a special teams coordinator. He's nothing special. He's 1-7. Give the job to Jason Garrett. He's proven time and time again he could work as a head coach with the Cowboys, and now he's having Daniel Jones play pretty good football consistently. You cannot show me one. I think there is one game where they got blown out, but besides that one game, you cannot show me another game where the Giants have gotten blown out. You can't show me it. Where we see the Jets constantly getting blown out. In Washington, they're not getting blown out, but I mean, Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen, they don't look as good as Daniel Jones is, and so for that reason, got to get Jason Garrett into that head coaching spot for the Giants. I think it would be an easy, simple switch. I don't think a lot of people in that Giants organization would fuss over it. I think the fans would love it, and I know Daniel Jones would truly love it as well. All right, let's continue on. The run game for the Giants, try to do it by committee. Alfred Morrison, Wayne Gallman, 20 carries combined. We got about 40, 60, 70, about 70 yards. So just decent. Running game, wasn't there. The passing game was decent. We see Sterling Shepard, the number one receiver from last night with 74 yards. Very well done. He was targeted 10 times as well. Evan Ingram, he's a fantastic safety net for Daniel Jones at the tight end position. Just a nice dink and dunk off to him. He was targeted 10 times, 61 yards. Evan Ingram was coming through. And then we got Darius Slayton with 56 yards and Golden Tate with 31. So Daniel Jones was getting, the ball to his actual receivers. Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Golden Tate are all wide receivers. Evan Ingram, yes, he's a tight end, but he's a great safety net, and Daniel Jones is efficient with them. So, 3 out of the top 4 top receivers from last night were all wide receivers for Daniel Jones, so I can definitely respect that. Now, when we look at Tom Brady, we see that Mike Evans, he is the number 1 receiver for them, but it seemed to take a little bit of time for him to get Mike Evans going. We saw a couple of missed throws to Mike Evans in the first and second quarter, but then that second half, they kind of opened him up just a tad. I mean, they only had 55 yards, folks. It's not anything big. I mean, no receiver for this Buccaneers team really had anything special. Tom Brady was being a little bit conservative, in my opinion, with some throws. I mean, this Giants defense isn't anything spectacular. The fact that this Bucs team is just not opening up this offense. You have Mike Evans, you have Cameron Brate, you have Scott Miller, you have Rob Gronkowski. I mean, you got Ronald Jones, who's a speedy running back that you can dink and dunk, down to if the deep routes aren't there. But we got Rob Gronkowski here, 4 catches, 41 yards. He had a touchdown. Mike Evans had a touchdown. Mike Evans' touchdown, I believe, came on the goal line again. Can I bring this up real quick? 8 yards. 8-yard pass play for Mike Evans' touchdown. So nothing bad, but it's just like Tom Brady has all these weapons. Antonio Brown did not play, so that's going to be another weapon he's going to get. But it's like he can't air it out anymore, and it's really, truly frustrating because we saw what Daniel Jones did with the Giants, and it was truly just kind of dink and dunk all night, where Tom Brady were like, well, you have these weapons. Can you push the ball down the field? They just couldn't get it going. I don't know what this. There's something about this Giants team where they all just buy in and they make it as hard as possible for their opponent to do anything productive. I mean, you hold the Bucs to 25 points. That's hella respectable in my opinion. And the Giants put up 23. So it was just Daniel Jones just couldn't be clutch down the stretch, and we know that. He ended up getting the touchdown. That's pretty clutch, but you needed the 2-point conversion. You were down 8. You got 6. So not as clutch as he could be. Let's take a look at this 2-point conversion. We'll go to it. We'll go to the touchdown pass and the 2-point conversion. Let's give this man a little bit of love, right? We'll give Daniel Jones a little bit of love here. Because I am big on Daniel Jones. I am a fan of Daniel Jones, honestly. I like what he can do. He does need a little bit of help. I mean, he does need a good wide receiver, and he definitely would benefit from Saquon Barkley still being healthy right now. Absolutely. All right, so let's get this touchdown pass. Let's see what Daniel Jones does. We really should watch the entire drive, but hey, we all saw it. It was the only game on last night. So Maybe he didn't. Who knows? All right. Anyway, here we go. Daniel Jones, just a strike. I mean, a beautiful ball, really, to Golden Tate here. Just absolutely perfect pass. I mean, I thought Daniel Jones just broke the trash streak right here. I was like, oh my goodness, Daniel Jones just threw an impressive touchdown on a fourth quarter game-tying drive. I was like, oh man, this man's broken the spell. He's ready to go into overtime, and this man is ready to rock. We're going to get a great angle here. He's just going to drop back. This is about, what are we getting here? About 35-yard pass, throwing it from the 25. You get 10 yards from the back of the end zone. I mean, truly fantastic. Just enough. Look, okay, that is the best shot, the perfect shot. I'll try to pause it at the right exact time. We'll slow it down a little bit here. But this is the perfect shot right here. Look how great this ball is thrown right over the defender. Right over the defender. We'll let it play a little bit more right here perfectly. Right over the defender. Golden Tate wide open. Put just enough air under the ball to get it over the defender. Wide open to Golden Tate. I mean, you can't get a better shot than this, folks. Look at this. Truly, truly, truly amazing. What a ball. Daniel Jones goes and throws a touchdown. Now all he has to do is hit that 2-point conversion, and this man is going to be clutch, 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 going on the cash list, and I would have loved it. But here we go. This is what we are actually dealing with here. 2-point conversion for the tie. Tampa Bay calls a timeout, obviously very smart and trying to get a sense of what they're going to do offensively. Might as well take a look. If you have the timeouts, why not spend them? And the Giants, we see that they kind of run the same exact play, that kind of pre-snap shift from the left to the right that they were starting to run before the Bucs took the timeout. So now the Bucs kind of know exactly kind of what's going on. The Giants are not changing the play. Bucs were able to kind of see and talk it over. All right, what does that shift mean? What do we see from that? Let's talk it out real quick. We got 30 seconds in this timeout. So that's definitely going to help the Bucs in this play. I would have liked to see maybe the Giants switch it up a little bit. All right, they already saw the shift. It's not going to catch them off guard anymore. They took the timeout. Now they're going to be planning for that play. They'll obviously plan for a backup as well, but they know kind of where we're going, where our heads are at on this two-point conversion. So not the greatest that the Giants are sticking with the same play. If the defense calls a timeout, unfortunately they saw your hand. You have to change your play. It's unfortunate. That's the chess move in the football. I mean, you line up for it on 4th and 1. You have your play all good to go. The defense takes a timeout. They know what you're running now. If you come out with the same exact play, so it's on now the offense now to move their chess piece. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We were gonna move our rook to B4, but instead we're gonna move our knight to C4 because they called the timeout. We showed our hand. So I would have liked to see the Giants move on to a different play. But here we go. This is what we get. Daniel Jones shifting out the running back. Empty backfield. Oh, close call. Everybody was begging for pass interference. Everybody was begging for a clean play. And I love the no call here. They do throw the flag, but they talk it over and they do pick it up. I do like that. I mean, with under a minute left, I don't want to see any flags thrown unless it's egregious, unless it's right out in front of you. Boom, I just push you over. Yes, that's pass interference, but I think this is close. This is a bang call, especially with 28 seconds left, especially on a 2-point conversion. You can't throw this flag. I respect the officials for getting together and picking it up. I think that was the best call. We'll skip forward a little bit until we get some replays because they do spend some time on this. But yep, they pick it up. Incomplete pass, no pass interference, and the Bucs win it. So let's watch this play in slow motion again. We'll get some replays in some different angles. But yeah, this is going to be clean. We're going to get 31. He knows what the play is. He knows what the play is. I mean, look at this. As soon as he sees the running back go into motion, 33 is going into motion. 31 has 33. So he sees him in motion. He's going to come all the way to the right here. Let me slow this down a little bit so we can talk right on it. He's going to come all the way. He's got to find 33 in this huge chaos. That's what the Giants wanted to do with that shift and that bunch formation on the end of the line to create a natural pick for 33 to get open. Now, 33 is open right now, and Daniel Jones wants to throw the ball to him. Do it. Unleash it. He's wide open. 88, I think the 88's right here. He's screening this defender. He's going to be wide open. 33 is going to be wide open. All he has to do is just go and drag route this kind of end zone right here, the goal line. Daniel Jones needs to throw the ball right now. He throws it, but what does he do? He throws it inside. Inside. You can't throw it there. The defenders are running inside. You have to throw this one toward the pylon. Extend the ball to the sideline where he has all this room. Daniel Jones doesn't put it right on the body. 31, last second, does get his head around and look at the ball. He does run into the receiver, but it's kind of a bang play. We will get another good look at it. I know we will. Here it is. This is the best look at it right here. Coming. Last second, kind of ball even touches the defender's arm. That's how inside this ball was thrown. Look at 33, kind of have to wait, stop. He was coming across the field to the sideline. He has to stop. He has to look back inside, wait for this ball. Wait. This is bang call. I mean, he just ran in the defender as the ball was touching the defender's arm. So I absolutely love the no call on this, folks. I do. I think that's the right call. Daniel Jones just has to make a better throw. He has to throw this one in front of the receiver to the sideline. And man, oh man, Daniel Jones, he had it. Right here, it's open. Throw it. He does, but doesn't throw it where it needs to be, and it's truly unfortunate because this man literally led a touchdown drive at home on national television trying to just be clutch, but then he follows it up with this 2-point conversion play, and it sucks, man, because I like rooting for Daniel Jones. I want players to succeed in the league. I don't want anybody to be trash. I truly don't. And the fact that he follows up that beautiful, that was a stunning pass. I don't think Tom Brady made a better pass than Daniel Jones made that touchdown pass in the entire game. Honestly, I did not see a Tom Brady ball as good as Daniel Jones' touchdown pass at the end of the game. I didn't see it. So Daniel Jones, unfortunately, loses the game because he's not clutch, something that we do know. The Giants keep it close. Once again, something that we do know. And the Bucs, they win it, but they only win it by 2. So well done to the Giants. A close, hard-fought game. A good Monday Night Football game. This was enjoyable to watch from the start to the finish. It's just, unfortunately, we didn't get the big performance from Tom Brady. I wanted to see, 4 touchdowns. He just putting up 40-plus points again. It's weird. I thought Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers would both make MVP cases this week, but they both laid some kind of stinkers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 touchdowns and a loss. Tom Brady, 2 touchdowns and a narrow 2-point win. I mean, these are not MVP cases. And then we get Russell Wilson throwing 4 touchdowns earlier. So, man, I don't know what to do with this Bucs team. I don't know what to do with the Giants. It is a little reflected in my top 10 a little bit. But well done to the Bucs. They find ways to win. I'm not going to penalize teams too much for winning close games. Games are usually close anyway, especially against the Giants team. I didn't listen to myself. Don't you hate that when you just don't listen to yourself? I mean, I literally have been saying for 8 weeks straight that the Giants are decent. Daniel Jones is good. I do like him. Giants keep games close. Daniel Jones just can't be clutch. That's why they're 1-7. They could, potentially be 3-4, 4-3. But Daniel Jones is just not clutch on those game-winning, game-tying drives, on those long drives to the end zone. We see him get intercepted or just can't come up with the 7 points. We've seen it time and time again. So we didn't listen to ourselves. We took the Bucs minus 11.5, minus 12, whatever you got it in at, and it doesn't hit. So shame on us, unfortunately. But yeah, that was Thursday Night Football. Daniel Jones, man, so close to beating Tom Brady or tying the game and going in overtime. Very close. Alrighty, let's go to our cash and trash list now. We've seen all the Week 8 matchups every team has played, so we can evaluate everybody fully, see who can stay on the cash list, see who deserves to get on the cash list, and see who needs to get off the cash list. So this was the cash list coming into this week. We had the Steelers defense, the Dolphins defense, DK Metcalf, Cardinals defense, Carson Wentz, Boston Scott, Matthew Stafford, TJ Heckerson, Aaron Rodgers, Chiefs defense, Tom Brady, Brady, Baker Mayfield, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Zane Gonzalez, all for good reasons. Good defenses, some game-winning drives, Carson Wentz, Matthew Stafford, some great performances, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Donovan Peoples-Jones, game-winning touchdowns, Zane Gonzalez, game-winning field goals. So that's why all these teams are on here. And we have a couple of defenses. Look at all these defenses: Steelers, Dolphins, Cardinals, and Chiefs. All defenses are on here. And some may stay, some may go. We'll see. So here we go. We'll start it at the top. Steelers defense is the first cash list performance on here that we do have to reevaluate. So here we go. The Steelers, I mean, folks, they forced 4 turnovers from Lamar Jackson himself, folks. Come on. We got to give it to the Steelers here. We are going to keep them on the cash list. Lamar Jackson, 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. This defense was getting all the turnovers. Very well done. They weren't always taking advantage of these turnovers. We see the first fumble leads to a punt. The interception, it does lead to a touchdown, so well done there. Taking advantage there. The fumble leads to a punt. So obviously, not every time they are cashing in those points, so that definitely needs to be corrected. But they were holding Lamar Jackson. They held him to 24 points at home, 4 turnovers, big drives in the fourth quarter. I mean, these were potentially game-winning drives. Steelers are only up 28-24 on this next pursuing drive in the fourth quarter. I mean, this ball is at Pittsburgh's own 8-yard line on 4th and 3. They decide to go for it. It is fumbled, but they wouldn't have gotten it anyway. So it's basically a turnover on downs because Lamar Jackson, he did run, but he did not get it either before he fumbled the ball. So they wouldn't have gotten the first down anyway, fumble or not. That's a turnover on downs, just a great defensive performance. And then the very last drive, Lamar Jackson gets back down to the 23-yard line. They've got 1 pass left. It doesn't go. It falls incomplete. So once again, just great coverage, great defense by the Steelers in the fourth quarter to not allow any points. I mean, Ravens are down 4. They were inside the red zone basically both times in the fourth quarter. Defense bends but does not break. That's all you need to do in this league. Teams are going to score. Teams are going to drive. But is your defense coming alive right at the right moment, the fourth quarter, cashing in turnovers? Are they doing that? And the Steelers defense does it as best as anybody else does it in the league. That's why we love the Steelers defense. We are going to watch tape on them tomorrow. So yes, we're just going through it very quickly today, but tomorrow we will be watching the defense on these last 2 drives. I can guarantee it. It's going to be great to watch. We have to start highlighting the defenses, folks, because the Steelers defense, tip top, absolutely magnificent. So the Steelers defense can't stay on. Then we go to the Dolphins defense. And folks, if we're talking about turnovers, we got to be talking about Dolphins defense, right? Absolutely magnificent. Again, let me get to it. Do I not have it on here? There it is. Come on. I'm tripping. All right, here we go. Jared Goff, once again, kind of like Lamar Jackson, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and the Dolphins just taking advantage every single time on these turnovers. Let's look at the first one. Interception by Jared Goff leads to a touchdown. Second turnover, fumble, 6. Punt, we returned that. Our special teams getting involved. The second interception we could not cash in on, unfortunate. And yeah, so our defense really keeping us in the game, kind of the main reason why we won the game. They put up basically all of our points for us on the special teams. They created short fields for Tua to go on the 1-yard line and punch it in, so well done. We put up 28 points. Defense accounted for about 21 of those points. Special teams accounted for these other 7. So well done to our defense. Just throwing Jared Goff right from the tip. He really couldn't do anything the entire game because our defense was smothering. We obviously didn't win by our offense. We all know that. But our defense is truly something that needs to be respected. We did it against the 49ers. We did it against the Rams. We can do it, folks. Dolphins defense lives on the cash list another week. All right, DK Metcalf. We kept him on the list last week because of that hawk down, potentially pick 6, but DK Metcalf runs them down and saves it. That's why we kept him on the cash list. Tyler Lockett, that was the game that he went off. He had 200 yards, but we still wanted to keep DK Metcalf just because of the hustle, and he does not disappoint here in this Week 8 matchup. I mean, 12 receptions for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. The best wide receiver in the league, DK Metcalf. Second best wide receiver in the league, Tyreek Hill, folks. It is like that. We get the strong, speedy, go for it wide receiver in DK Metcalf, and then we get the small, shifty, go up for it, go get it at will, Tyreek Hill. Two best wide receivers in the league, in my opinion. DK Metcalf, he can definitely stay on the cash list another week. Well done. Alrighty, our third defense we'll talk about, Cardinals defense, but we can't talk about them because they are on a bye, so we will leave them on the cash list anyway. I mean, if you're on a bye, you can't prove yourself, so we keep you on anyway. So we will be able to reevaluate the Cardinals next week. Unfortunately, they were on a bye this week. All right, let's go back to Carson Wentz. We ended up putting him on the cash list not because of his performance last week, but because he made a game-winning touchdown pass, and we have to respect it. So, Carson Wentz, he's back to his old turnovers, folks. He's back to the turnovers. How unfortunate, right? They ended up getting the win, but, I mean, like Lamar Jackson, like, who was that other guy that we just said? Dang it. Lamar Jackson. All right, who else? Who else did it? Carson Wentz, 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. What is going on with quarterback play? Sloppy quarterback play this week. 3 different quarterbacks with 4 turnovers themselves. Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, and Lamar Jackson. What is going on in this league? So, Carson Wentz is definitely getting taken off the cash list. I mean, folks, 15 completions for 123 yards. Dink and dunk. 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. Luckily, they were facing the Cowboys, so it didn't matter. I mean, Carson Wentz could have turned the ball over 10 times, and the Cowboys would have only gotten 12 points out of it. So, luckily for Carson Wentz, his interceptions go under the radar because the Cowboys' defense is just truly atrocious. I mean, and that makes it even worse. Carson Wentz is throwing interceptions and fumblings to literally the worst defense in the National Football League, so we can't respect it. Carson Wentz, very short-lived, but you're off. You're out. You're off the cash list. All right, Boston Scott, he caught the game-winning touchdown pass from Carson Wentz last week. That's why he's on. But he didn't have himself a great game. 70 yards, decent, a little above average, 4.7 yards a carry. I can get behind it. No touchdowns, though, and he caught 1 pass, I think, for, 9 yards? 2 passes for 9 yards. So nothing extravagant, decent performance. No doubt not a cash list performance, in my opinion, so we take Boston Scott out. All right, let's go to Matthew Stafford. He had a game-winning touchdown drive last week. That's why he was on here. But then he goes and he's at home and 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, and it's looking good, but you lose. You only put up 21 points, and you get blown out by 20. So Matthew Stafford, 24-42, 336 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. This is kind of a classic Matthew Stafford game, in my opinion. This is what he does. It does not lead to wins. It does not translate to wins. That's the one knock on Matthew Stafford. He can't win games consistently. He can't win playoff games consistently either. So we got to take Matthew Stafford off the list. I do like the 300 yards and the 3 touchdowns. Don't get me wrong, but you lose. He threw the interception. Can't grace you with another cash list this week. All right, TJ Heckerson, he caught the touchdown pass from Matthew Stafford last week, and he did not have himself a great game either. I mean, 65 yards, no touchdowns. It's decent, but it's not cash list, especially when you lose. So we have to take TJ Heckerson off the cash list. Unfortunate. All right, then we go to Aaron Rodgers, and we already know he's getting taken off the cash list because he did not win. And he looked decent, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I can get behind that, no doubt. Where's this game at? But, I mean, you lose the game, and did they put up, they put up 14, they put up 8 points in the 4th quarter, but they didn't score in the 3rd quarter, and they kind of blunk. I mean, Packers and Vikings were trading touchdown for touchdown. Aaron Rodgers passing a touchdown, Vikings rushing a touchdown, but in the 3rd quarter, the Vikings were able to keep scoring touchdowns. That was the huge pivotal point here because everybody was on long drives. Everybody was scoring, but Packers were settling for touchdowns where Green Bay Packers were finding themselves on 4th down situations and not being able to pick it up. They were long 4th downs. Unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers can't pick it up. It's a decent performance. Don't get me wrong. 291 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, but you lost. I can't keep you on the cash list because of this, unfortunately. Aaron Rodgers gets off. All right. Chiefs defense, we can definitely evaluate them, and another defense that really took advantage. I mean, yeah, Sam Darnold didn't throw any interceptions, and I don't think they did have 1 fumble. Chris Herndon, Never heard of him. Chris Herndon, he did fumble once, but that's not why I'm leaving the Chiefs defense on the cash list this week. You want to know why I'm doing it? Because look at the second half. Look at all these 3-and-outs by the Jets. 1 3-and-out, 2 3-and-out, 3 3-and-outs. Then we get the fumble. We remember this from yesterday. A fumble on 4 plays, and then in the fourth quarter, another 3-and-out. Oh, and another 3-and-out. Oh, and another 3-and-out to end the fourth quarter. So, I mean, the Jets literally cannot do anything. They cannot pick up a first down. They cannot get a first down, a single first down in the second half. They had to settle for field goal after field goal after field goal in the first half, but in the second half, Chiefs like, no, you're not getting any points. We're sick of it. You can keep throwing those, kicking those field goals. That's fine because we're scoring touchdowns over here. Patty Mahomes had 5 big ones, folks. So, well done to this Chiefs defense, just keeping it on lock, teams drive, folks. This is kind of proof that teams will drive. Jets, worst team in the league, driving on the road. They were able to get 3 field goals out of it, but in the second half, Chiefs will know what you're doing, work around it, know how to game plan for it, and they did exactly that. I mean, if you're getting no first downs in the second half, folks, please look to fire your head coach, truly. So we will leave the Chiefs defense on the cash list. All right, let's go to Tom Brady. Last week he threw, 4 touchdowns? Maybe 5? I'm going to say 4 because I think it was 4. But there he is, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 28 of 40, 279 yards, decent all around. Nothing wrong with that. 10 yards of completion, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Definitely can get behind that. Not cash list worthy, in my opinion. It's just a decent performance. I want to see Mike Evans have like a 5-touchdown game. Is that too much to ask for, Thomas? I mean, what the heck is going on? Antonio Brown's coming next week, so they have to get better, right? They have to get somewhat better. So Tom Brady got to shore up the accuracy just a little bit here. And start throwing to Mike Evans. He should have more than 55 yards, please. He should be used more than in the red zone and in touchdown situations. Can we just throw this man a 75-yard bomb every single play? I mean, he's going to come up with it, 8 times out of 10. But Tom Brady, we do have to take you off the cash list, unfortunately. Good performance, don't get me wrong, but not cash level. Baker Mayfield, we can already take this man off. He put up 6 points. He put up 6 points last week. Is that cash list in a loss? Absolutely not. We are going to have to clown this man a little bit because we do that to everybody. Baker Mayfield, 13 of 25, 122 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 6 points. That was the game. You lose your best wide receiver, OBJ. This is bound to happen. I mean, not even 50% completion. Really can't move the ball. I mean, 122 yards passing is literally nothing. That's like 30 yards rushing. Nothing. So we do have to take Baker Mayfield out, and we have to take his wide receiver, Donovan Peoples-Jones. They were on here because they made the clutch game-winning touchdown pass last week. Donovan Peoples-Jones didn't even have any catches last week. I don't even know if he played. I think he did because I don't think he's injured, but he just got targeted no times, and he got no reception. So definitely, I mean, if you do nothing in a game, you're not cash. And that leaves Zane Gonzalez. He is the kicker for the Cardinals. I know he's on a bye. So is that right? I'm not tripping, right? Yeah. Yeah. Because he kicked the game-winning kick in overtime for the Cardinals 2 weeks ago. So yeah, Zane Gonzalez, we cannot evaluate him because he's on a bye. So we will leave him on. Is he? Yeah, okay. Yep. All right, let's go to our additions on the cash list. Here we go. We've got, how many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6. So decent additions here. Our first one is going to come from the Minnesota game, and we already know it's not Aaron Rodgers, and we definitely know it's not Kirk Cousins. It's going to be Dalvin Cook, the only green flag of this Vikings team all around. I mean, this man is just a gamer. He's a runner. He wants to win, and I definitely give this man a ton of credit. He's having a fantastic season, and he had a fantastic game. 30 carries for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's fucking Derrick Henry numbers, folks. Dalvin Cook is truly good, and we are going to reward him on here on the cash list. His total offense is not very good. Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback. So Dalvin Cook is definitely struggling a little bit with his team a little bit because they've only got 2 wins, folks. So Delvin Cook, very well done, rewarded. He's just having a great year, folks, truly. Kirk Cousins, he definitely needs to step it up himself just to kind of, match Delvin Cook's output level offensively and possibly try to, make the playoffs a deep playoff run. But, 2 wins so far this season, not going to get it done. So Kirk Cousins definitely needs to step up himself a little bit. Delvin Cook is trying everything he can himself, and it worked last week. 3 touchdowns for the man, and they beat the Packers, so well done. Alrighty, our second edition is going to come from the Chiefs, and we know it's nobody on the Jets, and we got to honor this man. 416 yards, 5 touchdowns. I know it's against the Jets, but gosh darn, woof. When you're expected to do it and you do it better than you're expected, 5 touchdowns, woof. Oh my goodness, Patrick Mahomes, what a game. And we already read off the receivers yesterday as well, but Travis Kelce, 109 yards, Tyreek Hill, 98 yards, second best receiver in the league, folks, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns as well, 2 touchdowns, love it. We're gonna watch film from this game, I can't wait. Mecole Hardman, once again, 96 yards. Demarcus Robinson, 63 yards. So their top 4 receivers all had 63-plus yards receiving. Their top 3 receivers all had 96 yards receiving. So this man was just airing it out all game, and the Jets just could not stop him for the life of them. Patrick Mahomes, welcome back to the cash list. Very well done. So we put Patrick Mahomes on here. What an incredible performance, folks. 5 touchdowns. Gosh darn. 11-1. Is that what it is? Today's 11-3. All right. Keep on moving. We're going to go to Seattle. I'm pretty sure you already know where we're going with this one. If we're honoring Patrick Mahomes, let's honor Russell Wilson. 27 of 37, 261 yards, 4 touchdowns and no picks. Not as good as 5, obviously, but still very good. 4 touchdowns, no picks, just leading the team, man. Just being that kind of leader that Russell Wilson is. Hey, I'm the quarterback. I'm going to be distributing the ball very effectively and efficiently. 4 touchdowns. DK Metcalf had 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. Absolutely fantastic. So we do put Russell Wilson on the cash list. DK Metcalf's already on here, so no having to add him because he's already added. Russell Wilson, very well done. All right, couple more here. Let's keep it going. We're gonna go to Denver. Going to Denver here. If I can find the game. Where is this Denver? Here it is. All right, we got to appreciate game-winning drives. And what did Drew Lock do? Game-winning drive. Fantastic. I love it. So we are going to be honoring Drew Lock here. And KJ Hamler. Drew Lock for the throw. KJ Hamler for the catch. Let's cue this up, shall we? Let's cue it up. Last play in the Denver game. Let's give this man a little bit of credit. Game-winning pass, game-winning play. Oh, it's already on here. Look at that. All right, here we go. Down 6, 1 second left. Roll out, Drew Lock, KJ Hamler. Very well done. We'll show you that he actually did get down. Where's the slow-mo at? Where's the slow-mo? Right here. He gets his butt down. Boom, inbounds. Cash. That's a victory. They kicked the extra point, so well done, Drew Lock. And KJ Hamler. Very well done. Well earned. Now, hopefully you guys aren't like Matthew Stafford and every other quarterback that we had on the cash list where you get on because of a game-winning drive, game-winning pass, and then next week you lose and lay a stinker. So I don't want that from Drew Lock. I want this man on here back-to-back weeks. Same thing with KJ Hamler. Don't be a one-and-done. I don't like one-and-dones on my cash list. I want you on here forever. That's why we put the dates on here, folks. We need to know how long they've been cashed for. When we look at the Steelers defense, they've been on here for a full month. Dolphins looking for a full month. DK Metcalf looking for a full month. So that's why we put the dates on here, folks. All right, and then we've got one more game-winning kicker. Got to honor the kickers a little bit as well. So we go to the Saints. Game-winning overtime kick. I can get behind it. Well done. Just kind of a nice, I think it was like a 40-something. 35, so even easier. Easy field goal, but hey, it's a game winner, and we can put you on the cash list. So well done, Will Lutz. Will Lutz. L-U-T-Z. L-U-T-Z. All right. So that is going to round out the cash list for today. Let's go to the bad side, the trash side, the fun side, right? Where we can just trash players. All right, here we go. Adam Gase, Ezekiel Elliott, Kirk Cousins, Stephon Gilmore, Mike McCarthy, Cam Newton, and Nick Foles all on the trash league going into this week. So we got to reevaluate everybody, and we do have a couple of additions as well. So here we go. Let's start with Adam Gase. Obviously, he's going to be kept on the trash list. I mean, 9 points. Nothing in the second half. I know he's not calling plays anymore, but can you get your team ready to even compete? I mean, can you be competitive like the Giants are? I mean, the Giants, their talent is a little bit better than the Jets, just all around. But, I mean, I think Sam Darnold is the better quarterback than Daniel Jones. So there's no reason why Adam Gase cannot get this Jets team consistently competitive in games. Got to be competitive. I mean, you just let Patrick Mahomes put up 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. What the heck is going on? Adam Gase, take some pride in your locker room. Get this team buttoned up a little bit. Adam Gase is going to stay on the trash list for another week. I mean, folks, look how long he's been on here, folks, since basically week 1. He's got to get a win, folks. He's got to get a win. All right, let's go to Zeke now. I mean, with Dak Prescott being out still, he's going to be out for the rest of the year, folks. He needs to step up. Ezekiel Elliott needs to step up. He needs to demand the Dalvin Cook treatment, the 30-plus carries, let my quarterback only throw it 14 times because we're working with Ben DiNucci. He was in the FCS. The FCS. You're thinking of the FBS, what we watch every Saturday. That's the FBS. The FCS you don't ever watch because it's on like Tuesday at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, what? Why is that even a time? Why are you guys up then? But anyway, Ezekiel Elliott, got to demand it. You need to go up to Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy should figure this out on his own. Hey, we're on a third-string quarterback. Let's not throw the ball 40 times. Hey, how about that? How about we run the ball 30-plus times like Kirk Cousins is doing with Dalvin Cook in Minnesota? How about we take a little bit of their game plan? How about that? Because our quarterback is Ben DiNucci, 21 completions for 180 yards. I mean, he can't move the ball. We know this. We know this. So, Zeke, you have to demand to be better. You have to be better because 63 yards and no touchdowns. Where's the production coming from? Where is the points coming from if it's not coming from Zeke? It can't come from any wide receivers because Ben DiNucci cannot deliver the ball to them. It's simple. Mike McCarthy, call me. I can give you the game plan. Truly. But we digress. We keep Zeke on the trash list. All right, Kirk Cousins, now very well done for him. I mean, he saw that he was on the trash list, and he's like, hang on, let me just kind of take this week off. Let me have Dalvin Cook. I'll dink and dunk. I'm only going to throw it 14 times. I mean, look at this, folks, 11 to 14. That's what he did for 160 yards, which is actually pretty good for 11 completions. I'll give him that. And the touchdown, no picks. So very well done to Kirk Cousins. Kind of a reset game. All right, let me just I'm not even going to be touching the ball. I'm just handing it off every single time. So well done. Great game plan and great execution. Kirk Cousins, he's not the leader here in Minnesota anymore. He needs to kind of take a backseat approach, and he did it last week. Let's see how long it lasts. But Kirk Cousins, very well done. Not a trash performance, not a cash performance, but a very solid game-winning game manager performance that I can respect. So well done. Kirk Cousins is off the trash list. Alrighty, now we go to Stephen Gostkowski, and he was on here for missing the game-tying field goal against the Steelers 2 weeks ago. And then Tennessee loses last week. Obviously not good. Did I pass it? Yeah, so here we go. Stephen Gostkowski, I mean, nothing great. He did miss a field goal, but I mean, Titans, they lost by 11 anyway. When did this missed field goal happen? Kind of early in the game. That would have been a tone setter. That would have been 3-3 at the moment. I originally have him coming off the trash list, but maybe we should keep him on. I mean, yeah, the Titans lost, and that 3 points would have been huge here. How long was this field goal? That's going to be the true deciding factor. 53 yards, man, right on that edge. But anything less than 50, or 55, I should say, needs to be automatic. Man, that's tough. 2 extra points, I don't really care about them. I mean, if you miss them, then I care, but very close game. I'm going to give this man the benefit of the doubt here. I don't like him missing this first field goal here. That really could have kind of set the tone a little bit. But we're going to take him off. I mean, he didn't really have a chance in the game to kind of prove himself. So we'll take him off the trash list. That's all I can really say. I mean, the team lost, and it wasn't because of him. So, all right. Here we go. Mike McCarthy. I mean, we have to keep this man on the trash list again with Adam Gase. I mean, win a game. Can you win a game, please? Can you be competitive? I mean, you let the Eagles beat you 23-9, not even competitive. I mean, you had 4 turnovers defensively, your best defensive outing, and you still give up 23 points. What is going on? You could not even take advantage. I mean, you scored field goal after field goal after field goal and could not convert. I mean, the first fumble, you fumble, so you give it right back. Second fumble, you give up a field goal. That's nothing. I'll give up field goals for turnovers, absolutely. I'd encourage it. The interception leads to a punt, so you can't even get 3 points out of that. The interception leads to a missed field goal, so you can't even convert. So we have to. This is all about coaching, folks. It truly does come down to coaching. Coaching matters in the NFL and the NBA. It really doesn't. It matters a little bit, but in the coaching, or in the NFL, it's all about coaching, getting your guys ready. A week to prepare for one game for 3 hours. You have to get this team working an entire week for that, folks. So this all comes down to coaching. We have to leave Mike McCarthy on this trash list. I'm not taking him off. He needs to win a game, and he needs to look a little bit competitive. I get that he's down to his third string quarterback. I truly do get that. But even with Dak and Andy Dalton still wasn't getting it done, and now you got Ben DiNucci, and you're not running the ball 30 plus times where we see other teams around the league. If no team was running 30 times, then I can give them a break. But the Titans are known to run the ball 30 times. Vikings, they took the bye and were like, all right, we can't pass the ball, so we're going to run it 30 times. Mike McCarthy should be having this same epiphany. Oh, we can't throw the ball? Let's run the ball 30 times then. Let's do that. How about that? Because we've got Ezekiel Elliott, who we've already paid. So Mike McCarthy stays on the trash list. I'm over him. I'm truly, he needs to be fired. I'm calling for Mike McCarthy's firing. Sorry. All right. Cam Newton. Cam Newton. Damn it, Cam. You're going to stay out of here for 2 weeks straight? Unfortunate. I mean, he fumbled the ball, folks. He was in game-tying territory with the field goal. He was in game-winning territory with the touchdown. And what does he decide to do? He decides to fumble the ball. After all week, he's talking about how he needs to be the one that steps up, and it's unacceptable to lose in New England, and they have a culture of winning. So you come in and fumble the game away when you had the chance finally. I mean, this is the most points you've put up in 3 weeks, and then you go and have a chance to tie the game and be the winner or win the game. You could have won the game for your squad, but you want to fumble the ball on Buffalo's 19-yard line on 2nd and 10 with 37 seconds left, ton of time left, and you fumble the ball. That's all about Cam. That's all on Cam. Not even a great night for Cam either. 15 of 25 for 174 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, and then you fumble it at the end of the game. So I mean, he's doing nothing, really nothing all game. And then you cough it up. Cam Newton definitely has to stay on the trash list, definitely. And that brings us to Nick Foles. They put up a couple of points. They went to overtime. But Nick Foles, I'm keeping him on the trash list. 28 of 41, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. I can get behind all of that. The 1 interception I can't get behind. The not being competitive in overtime when you had the chance to touch the ball and you go 8 yards. Come on, man. This is game-winning time. You literally just said we can't win. This is what Nick Foles said on this drive in overtime. Hey, we can't win. We can tie. We might lose. But I can't lead y'all. It's truly unfortunate. We've already talked about it. Saints, Drew Brees can be functional without their top 2 weapons, Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. And Nick Foles has his entire arsenal healthy and ready to go, and they lose. So I can't get behind it. Nick Foles, truly trash, has a chance to win it in overtime, and you put up 8 yards, folks. Folks, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Nick Foles stays on the trash list. All right, we do have 3 additions. Let's go through these quickly so we can get to our power rankings. The first one is going to be Baker Mayfield. Folks, 6 points. We knew this man was going to be trash. Baker Mayfield, welcome back. I mean, you've been on here before, I'm pretty sure. 6 points, not going to get it done. Just not even competitive. It truly was not even competitive. We can look at his stats. It's not going to make anything better. It's not going to make anything better here, but 12 of 25, folks, truly trash. 122 yards, truly trash. Folks, that's all it is. He's trash. That's all. That's why he's on the trash list. He's trash. All right, the second one, we're going to put up Jared Goff. I mean, 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers? What the heck are we doing here, folks? What are we doing here? Quarterback cannot turn it over more than once. I can maybe forgive once. If you win and you put up more than 2 touchdowns, I can forgive 1 interception. But when you turn the ball over 4 times, you would have to go and score like 15 touchdowns for me to forgive 4 turnovers. And that will never happen in the history of the NFL. I mean, there's no way you can get 15 drives in a game. There's no way you can get 15 touchdown drives in a game. So Jared Goff, 4 turnovers. We got to put him on the trash list for that. And we have to add his buddy Lamar Jackson. Once again, he turned the ball over 4 times. Now, the game was a little bit closer in Lamar Jackson's case, but turned the ball over 4 times. You were pretty much in the red zone 2 times in the fourth quarter and couldn't get the score. Unfortunate. So we got to put you on the trash list. What are we doing here? When you have opportunities to win games and you don't, that reflects poorly on you, and I will put you on the trash list because of that. I am not afraid. Who was the other one that turned the ball over 4 times? Carson Wentz. He's lucky he got the W. I should put him on here. I should put him on here, truly. But we're not. They got the win. I can respect the win. I can respect an ugly win, folks. So that is going to do it for the trash list and the cash list. Well done to everybody on the cash list for getting on here. Let's start working on getting off the trash list, folks. Come on, Adam Gase. You've been on here too long. You need to get off. Zeke, step it up for once in your life. Come on, let's get it done. Let's get this trash list empty, folks. I don't want to see any trash in the league, but we do have a couple of trash bags, unfortunately. Alrighty, and that leads us to our NFL Power Rankings for Week 8. This is what we had coming into the week. We had the 49ers at 10, the Ravens at 9, the Cardinals at 8, the Bucs at 7, the Rams at 6, the Chiefs at 5, the Titans at 4, the Seahawks at 3, the Packers at 2, and our number 1 team going into this week was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Best defense in the game, decent offense led by Big Ben. I love it. All right, so we do have a little bit of a mix-up here. We'll start at number 10 and work our way up to number 1. Alrighty, let's get into it. We'll catch flack right off the rip, but our new number 10 team, it's no longer the 49ers. The 49ers are now out of the top 10. We put them in the top 10 for the second time last week, and they did not impress me. Jimmy Garoppolo's once again injured. George Kittle's out for basically the rest of the season. He's out 8 weeks with a broken bone in his foot, so this offense is just dwindling week by week. We saw the line get absolutely obliterated when they faced the Dolphins, and then they had to bench Jimmy Garoppolo then, and then he came back for 2 weeks and looked decent, and then last week, he gets re-injured because the offensive line can't help itself by being trashed, so we have to move them off the top 10. It's just unfortunate what they're going through. Too many injuries, can't put them in the top 10, so our new number 10 team is going to be the Miami Dolphins, y'all. The Miami Dolphins. Our defense is one of the top defenses in the league, folks. That's the main reason why they're on the power rankings. I mean, the defense single-handedly won us 2 games this year. The game against the 49ers and the game last week against the Rams. So our defense is the real deal, folks. I don't know if there's another defense that has single-handedly won the team the game. The Cardinals, it was kind of 50-50, but the defense definitely was a big part of it that one game. And the Steelers, I mean, they're just the real healthy mix of, offense and defense. Maybe the last week their defense, against the Ravens, those 4 touchdowns were definitely huge. So, I mean, Dolphins, we're talking about one of the top defenses in the league, folks, with the Cardinals and the Steelers. So, and then Tua, he's only going to get better, folks. I know he didn't put up the yards or the completion percentage or the touchdowns, but when we show the accuracy tomorrow in our film review, you're going to fall in love with the kid. We've got the Dolphins here at number 10. I mean, what other team can we put up here? The Saints, we've seen that story time and time again. They lose first round of the playoffs by something whack, and then they go in an off-season campaign to get a rule fix because they felt hosed by it. Who else do we got? The Colts. Once again, Phillip Rivers. I cannot buy him. So the Dolphins, we're going to go with them. We're going to give the Dolphins a shot in the top 10, see what they can make with it. They got the Cardinals next week. That's going to be a huge test to them because both teams are currently in the top 10. So it's a top 10 matchup for the Dolphins. Let's see if they can hang with the best of them. We're going to give them an opportunity here. We've given other teams other opportunities to be in the top 10. The Raiders, the Browns, the Bucs, the Saints, we've given them chances time and time again, and they prove us wrong. So we're going to give the Dolphins a shot here at the number 9 spot. Love their defense, folks, truly do. Alrighty, number 9, we're going to leave the Ravens. Now, it was a decent loss. It was a decent loss. They were on the goal line. They just couldn't get it done. But that's kind of what we're starting to see with the Ravens against the best teams. They don't always perform at their best. Lamar Jackson, 4 turnovers himself. We saw what he did against the Chiefs. Not very good offensively. Just couldn't get it really done until garbage time where it doesn't count anymore. So we see Lamar Jackson not stepping up his game, against the big team. So we have to leave I'm still going to leave them in the top 10, but another, loss against a top 10 matchup, we got to take them out. We've penalized them at number 9. They used to be in the top 5, but now this loss, the Chiefs loss, they're starting to look not that great. We're going to have to put them at number 9 and leave them there. They've got one more chance until they're out. We'll see what happens. But, talent-wise, the defense is good. I love the coach. Lamar Jackson's, above average. We can all agree. So we're going to leave the Ravens in the top 10 for this week, but we'll leave them at 9. All right, number 8. We've got a new number 8 team. This is going to be the LA Rams. Don't worry, Cardinals fans. Don't worry. They're not out of the top 10. We're moving them up a little bit. But the Rams, that performance, Jared Goff, I already know that offense is kind of shaky. But last week, that looked real bad on the road. Another stinker by the Rams. This is kind of, their third stinker this season where they don't put up 20 points and the offense struggles. We saw Jared Goff struggle mightily. 4 turnovers, folks. Luckily for the Rams that, Jalen Ramsey didn't play a lot last week, even though it wouldn't really made a difference because the Dolphins' defense really couldn't do anything anyway. This was all about the Rams' offense, once again, not being productive. But the Rams' defense, still pretty solid, still pretty good, only held the Dolphins to 7 points offensively. 14 points came off of defensive fumble interception returns. 7 points came from special teams punt return. And 7 points came from, a short field. So Tua can just, work with a short field, 30 yards. He can go 30 yards, no problem. So the Rams offense just definitely, it's so hit and miss. It's so shoddy. I say it time and time again because they prove time and time again. I say things multiple times, if I say something last week and I bring it up again, it's because I'm seeing it again, not because I have no facts and I have to, re-talk again. It's because I'm seeing the same things week in and week out. So the Rams offense, man, it's spotty. We move them back a little bit here. We had them at 6. We move them back to 8. We'll have to move them out of the top 10 with another loss. We'll move them out, but falling. This Rams team is. It's just their spotty offense. That's all I have to say about it. Their defense is pretty good. I like their coach. I like their quarterback. I do like Jared Goff. I think he's above average, and I can take that. But, the points, they've got to start getting more consistent on offense. Your schemes, you got to start getting some good plays together. Get out to better starts. But we move the Rams back to number 8. Can't take all these losses. All right. Here we go. Tampa Bay Bucs at number 7 was last week, but we are going to move another team back. So don't worry, Tampa Bay fans, they're getting moved up a little bit, but we are going to have to move the Green Bay Packers back. I'm sick of Aaron Rodgers. 1 week looking good, the next week not. Truly, this is the second time this has happened in the last 3-4 weeks. The game off the bye when he threw 2 interceptions against the Bucs. Then he had a good game after that, but then he's back and you're at home and you lose against the Vikings because they ran the ball. What were you game planning for? Were you planning to stop Kirk Cousins? He couldn't do anything the first 7 weeks. What were you game planning for? You decided to stop the pass instead of the run? Why would you do that? Kirk Cousins has been struggling all season. They don't have Stephon Diggs anymore. Dalvin Cook has been the one constant on the offensive side of the ball for the Vikings. So the Green Bay Packers don't game plan for that? They give up 163 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. What the heck was Green Bay Packers planning for? I don't know. So this kind of hit and miss every week, every other week being good, every other week being bad. I'm sick of it. Once again, with the Green Bay Packers, I want to give Aaron Rodgers credit. I want to give this Packers team credit. I really do. But every other week, it's like, what's wrong? Are you not game planning good, or is Aaron Rodgers going to throw interceptions? What's it going to be? So we're going to penalize the Packers here. I mean, folks, they were at 2 last week. I'm moving them all the way down to 7. That loss against the Vikings is truly unacceptable, especially at home, especially with the depleted defense of the Vikings, especially with only putting up 22 points, especially with giving up 163 yards rushing. I really don't know. If I was the Packers, I would literally be like, we're shutting down the run. If Kirk Cousins wants to beat us with his arm, so be it, but we're not going to get beat on the ground. That's 100%. I don't care. We'll get beat through the air. I do not care, but we're not losing to their best weapon, Dalvin Cook. We're taking that away, and if Kirk Cousins beats us, if Kirk Cousins outperforms Aaron Rodgers, then we just live with it. But unfortunately, it was Aaron Rodgers versus Dalvin Cook, and Dalvin Cook, the legs are better than the arm, unfortunately. So we moved back the Packers. I'm sick of it. I'm truly sick of it. I want to see some consistency. That's why we love the Seahawks so much. Very consistent. Even in their losses, Russell Wilson, 3 interceptions. They lose by 3 in overtime last second. Folks, Aaron Rodgers throws 2 interceptions, and they can't do anything past the second quarter. Come on. I'm truly over the Packers, truly. All right, let's go to number 6 now. LA Rams, we moved them back, so we do have a new number 6 team, and we're going to go the Titans here. I thought they would kind of take last week off. I give them last week. They've gone through a lot these last couple weeks, folks. Truly, the COVID, tough schedule. Tough schedule at the time. We know schedules kind of get easier when we have hindsight, but at the time, Bills, Texans. Who was it last week? Our Bills, Texans, Steelers. I mean, folks, truly tough. And then they had the Bengals, so they had all that kind of adversity that they truly overcame. 2-1 in that stretch, overcame all the COVID. So now they kind of had all right, Bengals. All right, we should be able to beat them. Came out a little slow, unfortunately, and Joe Burrow has been slinging the ball the first 8 weeks, so it's nothing new for him. Titans, we're gonna move them back a little bit. Titans, they can't play from behind. That's not their game. Tannehill cannot lead you to multiple fourth quarter comebacks. Yes, we've seen him do that, but those are truly outliers in his game. So Titans need to clean it up a little bit earlier in the game. They're still sticking with Derrick Henry running for 100 yards. Ryan Tannehill is still throwing for like 200 yards every game. So these are good signs for the Titans. Defense, got to step it up a little bit. I mean, you can't let the Bengals go and score 30-plus points on you. You just can't do that. But this Titans team, they're promising. They don't seem spotty to me. They seem very consistent. So we're going to leave them at number 6. Plus, they've beaten some good competition. I still like the Titans, even though they kind of laid a stinker last week against the Bengals. But if everybody else is getting passes, every other teams are getting passes, if the Ravens are getting passes, if the Packers are getting passes, then I'm going to use my pass for the Titans and put them at number 6. So Titans at 6. I love it. All right, number 5 team. We're moving up a team into number 5. So well done to the Cardinals. I mean, they go on a bye, and they go from, what do we have them, 9-8? And we're going to move them up to number 5 because of other teams being bad and performing not very good. So I still like this Cardinals team. Their defense was emerging those last 2 weeks before the bye, so I'm super excited to see what Budda Baker's got next week. I'm excited to see if this Cardinals defense can perform as well as they have these last 2 weeks before the bye. So that's going to be kind of the one thing I'm going to be looking for the Cardinals. But if their defense is playing as good as they did those last 2 weeks, I'm going to be big on them because that's a great offense. That's a great defense working together. You got to have both in this league. We see the Packers not having a good defense, giving up 28 points to the Vikings and 163 yards on the ground. So I mean, this Cardinals team can definitely be something dangerous. Kyler Murray, hopefully he cleans up the interceptions a little bit. He plays a little bit better, but I mean, if this defense is going to still play the way that it has, I'm going to like them here in the top 5, absolutely. So Cardinals at number 5. All right, number 4 is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They've got so many weapons. I do want to see Tom Brady throw to Mike Evans more, but they're still finding ways to win. I'm not penalizing them for a close win last night against the Giants. The Giants play teams close. Bucs, they still win, so that's all you ask for in this league. You play to win the game. Y'all know the quote. So we got the Bucs here at number 4. I'm liking them. I do want to see Tom Brady start opening up the offense a little bit more. Stop with the dink and dunk. You have actual receivers now. Please use them. I know you've played in New England for 20 seasons and you've only had to do dink and dunk because Bill Belichick never got you that A1 wide receiver, except for 2 seasons with Randy Moss. I think it was only 1 season, maybe 2 seasons. But yeah, go back to that Randy Moss season where Randy Moss had an excellent year and start doing that to Mike Evans. Now that AB is here, hopefully he can start getting, some playmakers because Mike Evans takes away the main attention with Mike Evans being the number 1. Now you have AB being a number 2. He should be one-on-one matchups. Guys start taking advantage of the deep ball. That's what this Bucs team is made for. You've got downfield threats, Mike Evans, Gronk. You've got downfield quarterback at the helm, Tom Brady. He can still air it out. The arm is still good. So Bucs at number 4. Their defense wasn't as good as everybody else was making it out to be. I mean, they still let Daniel Jones potentially almost tie up the game right at the end of the game. So Bucs definitely got to clean out the defense a little bit. But Monday Night Football on the road, not going to be a flawless game. So we'll move the Bucs into number 4. I mean, their weapons are truly just out of this world. It's kind of sickening to look at how good their weapons are. So we put the Bucs at number 4. All right, number 3, we are going to move the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they're back. We know this team is very highly explosive. It's just sometimes they catch a snag where they don't even perform into the fourth quarter or something happens. But this Chiefs team, they're very good offensively, obviously. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, a killer combination of just sheer speed. Patrick Mahomes with his legs, Tyreek Hill with his legs, Patrick Mahomes with the speed that he can just fling the ball 40 yards down the field. So Tyreek Hill, is still wide open by the time the ball gets to him. So, I mean, there's just so much speed. There's so much great defense as well. Tyrann Mathieu, one of the best safeties in the league, in my opinion. Big on him. Hey, 1 second. I'm going to sneeze. I mean, the Chiefs, they gave up no first downs in the second half. That's absolutely fantastic defense. At home, they put up the points, 5 touchdowns. They did everything that they were supposed to do against a lackluster Jets team. Put up the points, put up the touchdowns. Don't give up too many. 35 points, 5 touchdowns against 9 points, no touchdowns. Exactly what the Chiefs needed to do last week. They went out and did it. Got to rock with them. They're defending champions for a reason. Andy Reid's a great coach. They've got all the pieces in place, folks. They speak for themselves. This Kansas City Chiefs team speaks for itself, so we move them up to number 3. All right, number 2 is going to be the Seattle Seahawks. What an impressive win, kind of bouncing back from their lackluster performance 2 weeks ago against the Cardinals, where Russell Wilson threw 3 interceptions and they only still lost by 3 points. So Seattle comes out, they absolutely obliterate the 49ers. They knocked Jimmy Garoppolo out of the game. So we move the Seahawks up into number 2. They're just one of the most consistent teams in the league, folks. I mean, when you're throwing those interceptions and you still only lose by 3 points, no other team has done that. So well done to the Seahawks. They got back on track. Russell Wilson, 4 touchdowns, no picks. We knew he wasn't going to stay throwing interceptions. We knew that. DK Metcalf is back. Took last week off to let Tyler Lockett get some good touches, but he's back here with 2 touchdowns and 136 yards receiving. So Seahawks are back. The defense, very well done. A little bit of a quarterback switch midway through. Nick Mullins, anytime there's a quarterback change, it's going to give teams trouble. That's just what it is, because you game plan for a certain quarterback. You know what that quarterback does good. So now last second switch, quarterback comes in. Then, they kind of throw off the game plan a little bit. So I'm not going to penalize the Seattle Seahawks for giving up, 27 points. They still won by 10. That's a great win. That's a huge win. Very close on the fence of a blowout, 10 points. I would say 14 points is a definite blowout, but between the 10 and 14, there's some gray area. But Seattle is so very good. They're still very good. They will always be very good because they're consistent. Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, they know how to win. They know what it takes, and they do everything that it takes to win on an every game Sunday basis. So we move the Seahawks up into number 2, and then that leaves the Steelers still at number 1. I mean, 7-0, only undefeated team left in the league. They beat the Titans and they just beat the Ravens. Huge matchups, great wins for them. Big Ben is cleaning it up. He didn't turn the ball over last week or against the Ravens. The defense forced 4 turnovers. We're going to be watching them tomorrow, folks, so relax. We're going to be talking about the Steelers defense this week. So we're going to leave the Steelers at number 1. Best team in the league, undefeated. Big Ben, defense, Mike Tomlin, everything is coming together. You just beat the Ravens. That's a huge win. We'll see what they've got going on for the rest of their schedule, but so far 7-0, looking real good. We're going to keep the Steelers at number 1. Love what they're doing. So that's what we got in our power rankings. Dolphins at 10, Ravens at 9, Rams at 8, Packers at 7, Titans at 6, Cardinals at 5, Bucs at 4, Chiefs at 3, Seahawks at 2, and Steelers at 1. Now, before I get so much flack, let me tell you outside looking in. Who's number 11, 12, and 13 and all that jazz. Bills are definitely outside looking in. You know, you can put them 11, 12, 13. Doesn't really matter to me. We just know that Josh Allen needs to step up more, and we haven't seen that these last really 4 weeks. I mean, those 2 losses and, you know, this last win, still not looking good. So Bills just outside the top 10 for those reasons. Who else do we got? Browns, I mean, they're pretenders. Baker Mayfield has been struggling these past 2 weeks. They will get nowhere near the top 10. Colts, they're pretenders. Phillip Rivers against lesser competition. He performs well. That's what we know. So not going to put the Colts in until they start proving themselves a little bit. Packers already in the top 10. Chiefs in the top 10. Rams in the top 10. Dolphins in the top 10. Saints outside looking in. Definitely. I get it. I want to know what's going to happen with Michael Thomas. I think he's going to be traded by the end of today, folks. We'll look at it in just a second if anything's broken. But I like the Saints, you know, just outside looking in. You know, they can put up the points. You know, they're putting up 26 points, you know, kind of consistently without Michael Thomas or Emmanuel Sanders. That's huge for them. But I just feel like I've seen the same Saints team before these last 3 seasons where they keep getting hosed in the playoffs. So we're holding off judgment on the Saints team. Outside looking in, they kind of need to prove themselves a little bit more than kind of other teams need to. It's a little unfair, but I mean, I've already bought into the Saints team for the last 3 seasons, folks. I can't keep doing it every year, because that is the definition of insanity. Bears, outside looking in, no, because Nick Foles cannot be even productive a little bit. So Bears not even top 15 in my opinion. 49ers just knocked out. I mean, when they're healthy, then we can start talking about them. But until then, they're going to definitely be not even near outside looking in. Cowboys, Eagles, nowhere close. Ravens, Steelers, both in. Chargers, Broncos, nowhere near it. They need to be more consistent. Bucs in it, Giants not. So Cardinals in it, Washington not. Jaguars not. Texans maybe outside looking in if they can get their offense kind of together. They're 1-2 off of, you know, coaches firing, so got to step that up a little bit. But, yeah, that's what we've got so far this week. Our top 10 power rankings, here they are. All right, before we talk about what we're going to do tomorrow, let's quickly see if there's any live news, anything that's been anything that broke while we've been live for this past hour and 15 minutes. I'm getting nothing. So we're about 3 hours out from the trade deadline, and nothing is going on. Interesting. I really think Michael Thomas is going to be out, folks. He practiced during the week last week, and then he didn't play. That's weird, right? That huge thing, that altercation between him and Sean Payton, I think it gets him the boot. I think he goes. But yeah, I think we're good to go. I think we're good. We'll be back tomorrow, noon Eastern. Y'all already know. We'll talk about the trade deadline if anything happens in the next 3 hours. I hope it does. Let's get some excitement here, but I'm not seeing anything. What is this? All right, go out and vote. All that. All right. Yeah. So yeah, nothing's broken. Nothing has broke. All right. Here we go. All right, so tomorrow on the show, Wednesday show, my favorite show of the week, deep dive into film study. We'll watch Cam Newton, his fumble drive. We might look at Joe Burrow. We haven't been paying this man too much attention. He's been putting up the yards and all that, so we might throw this man a little bit of film tomorrow. Raiders, Browns, probably won't watch anything from there. Colts, We may watch Phillip Rivers. I don't want to give this man too much time because, I don't truly believe in him. Vikings, we'll watch Delvin Cook kind of, go off. Why did the Packers not stop that? We'll appreciate some Patrick Mahomes, perfectness. We'll watch this Dolphins defense. Probably going to be a defensive-heavy show tomorrow. We'll watch Nick Foles. I keep saying he's trash and he's inaccurate. I want to prove it, folks. I'm not all talk here. I do back it up with the film. So we'll watch the Bears tomorrow. Seahawks will give Russell Wilson some love. Steelers defense, we're definitely going to check out their defense and all their 4 turnovers and their 2 key stops at the end of the game. That's going to be a huge one. Cannot wait for that. We'll watch Drew Lock, these last 2 touchdowns probably. Probably watch that. We'll watch Ben DiNucci just for fun. And we'll watch maybe Tom Brady and Daniel Jones. So we've got some good stuff coming tomorrow. We'll be back noon Eastern. Twitch.tv/takesbyfans. Follow me on Twitter. That's the best place to get constant updates from me, what I'm thinking, if there's going to be a change in time, if there's going to be anything like that. So definitely follow me on Twitter. Best place to stay in contact with me at takesbyfans. Simple as that. Takesbyfans at takesbyfans on Twitter. So that's going to do it for today. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you tomorrow, noon Eastern, folks, with our film study.